Now come to this particular question. Miss B, a non-resident residing in New York since 1992, came back to India on 19th February 2015 for living in India permanently. Explain the residential status of Miss B for the assessment year 17-18. Now the first thing is that Miss B, a non-resident residing in New York. The citizenship status of Miss B is not given to us in the question, and it is also not given to us whether she is a person of Indian origin or not. So first thing, either if you want to say you want to make an assumption, you make an assumption. Otherwise, you write a clear note that it is not given, so she is not citizen, nor she is a person of Indian origin. Okay, so that makes the difference about that substitution of 60 days with some number of days. Okay, so the first thing is that I will make my mind very much clear that in this our format of computation, okay, all these provisions of substitution I will not apply, because that is applicable to citizen or person of Indian origin at the respective places. Okay, so I will just go with the test of 60 days when it comes to 6(1)(c) provisions. Okay, that will be my first note. Okay, so that note we'll have to make. Okay, and similarly, of course, this 6(1)(a) also, if you want to make a note, that will also go out of discussion and out of question, because that citizenship status has not been given to us in the question. Okay, so now she has come back to India on 19th February. So she is already abroad. She is already abroad since 1992. Somewhere in 2015 she come back. Then she wants to stay in India. Residence of Miss B for the assessment year 17-18. So previous year is going to be 16-17. Okay. So previous year 16-17, 15-16, 14-15. Okay. Like this you want 13-14 and all this situation. Okay. Now she has come to India on 19th February 2015. Okay, so 19th February 2015. So 19th February 2015 to 31st of March 2015. This will be previous year 14-15. This many number of days she is going to be staying inside India. Then for 15-16, 1st of April 2015 to 31st of March 2016, she is inside India. That means the entire 365 days she is inside India. Okay, and for the current previous year also, 1/4/2016 to 31/3/2017, all 365 days she is inside India. Okay, now 19th February to 28th. Okay, so 28, 8, 9. So 10 days of February plus 31 days. So 41 days. Okay, so 41 days. And before that, she was not present in India at all. So all the earlier years, she is not present in India. Okay, this is our basic structure. So for the previous year 16-17, for which we have the question, entire 365 days she is inside India. That is absolutely clear now. And previous 4 years total also, if at all required. But anyway, moment logically you cross the limit of 182 days, you are going to become resident only. But that's a logical fast track understanding in our mind. However, we'll always do it in a little bit long cut manner. Okay, so for 365 days she is inside India. Okay, and 4 years preceding the previous year, because this is in the 6(1)(c), it is AND condition, and it is 406 number of days. And anyway, 6(1)(a) is straight away satisfied, and therefore she is resident since 6(1)(a) condition is satisfied. Okay, now actually even 6(1)(c) has been satisfied, but hardly matters. Any one condition, if it is satisfied, you are going to be resident in India. So hardly matters. Okay. Now, moment you are resident, you have to test whether you are not ordinarily resident or not. Okay. So you want first of all past 7 years total. So past 7 years total is again going to be 406 number of days only, because before that particular date she was not present in India. So it's all 406 days only. And this 406 days is already less than or equal to 729 days. So straight away you can jump to the conclusion that assessee is resident but not ordinarily resident. Straight away you can jump to the conclusion, because her number of days stay in 7 years preceding the previous year is less than or equal to 729. Finish. However, or at least 9 out of 10 preceding previous year she should be non-resident. Okay, and all the preceding years, even if you want to calculate being a non-resident, I think 9 years that she is going to be non-resident. 9 years that she is going to be non-resident. Probably even that condition is satisfied, but hardly matters since it is or any one condition is satisfied. Now just let me think and tell you about these 9 years calculation. Okay, now see in the question 15-16 she will become a resident. Reason being that more than equal to 182 days. Now since it is 41 days, straight away she will become non-resident, and earlier all years it is nil. So earlier all years she is going to be non-resident. That's all. Okay, so this is how you can quickly arrive at that particular conclusion of that particular 9 years. Okay, but actually not required. In examination condition, you can straight away say that 6(6)(a) condition 7 years, 729 days or less. That condition is satisfied, so she is not ordinarily resident. You can straight away jump to the conclusion, and your answer is absolutely right in the examination condition. Now come to this particular question, ID number 23. X, a foreign national, comes to India for the first time on June 15, 2011. During the financial year 11-12, 12-13, 13-14, 14-15, 15-16, 16-17, he stays in India for 120 days, 115 days, 15 days, 191 days, 124 days and 80 days respectively. Determine his residential status for the assessment year 17-18. Okay. Now, first of all, he is a foreign national. The moment you say that he is a foreign national, that means he is not a citizen of India. However, his position of person of Indian origin is not given to us, so we will assume that he is not even a citizen of India, and he is not even a person of Indian origin. Okay. Moment you conclude this particular point, first of all, in our conditions, because these conditions now you have to decide it very quickly in our mind before you start with the answer only. So then you will keep on confusing that should I substitute, should I not substitute, and all that kind of situation. Okay. See, moment you have said that he is not a citizen and not a person of Indian origin. Okay. Then these substitution provisions will not be applicable, because the substitution is applicable at the respective place for citizen or person of Indian origin. Okay. So these provisions will not be applicable. That is the first point. 6(1)(a) provision also will not be applicable. Reason being that it is applicable only to the citizens of India. Okay. So first, this point you have to keep. That means 6(1)(c) is whether 60 days test or a substituted number of days. That point you have to make it very clear, friends. And if question is not clear, you have to write a note. And very precisely you have to give the answer. That is the first point. Okay. Second point, that you have to determine the residential status for the assessment year printed. So always think from the previous year point of view. Otherwise, it is very much likely that in this chapter you will do mistakes. So previous year will be 16-17. Okay. And during the financial years from 11-12 to 16-17, respective years, his stay in India is already given to us for the respective number of years. So in the time sequence, previous year, his number of days stay is 80 number of days, and before 16-17 will be 15-16. So before will be 124 number of days, before will be 191 number of days accordingly. So this will be your before year, before year, that way. 191, then 15, then 115, and then 120, like this. Before year, because this structure has also to be very much clear in your mind. So number of days stay in the previous year is 80 days, and before 4 years total, that is your first duty that you will have to capture it. Okay. Now he has come to India for the first time on June 15, 2011. So before this particular date, you can say that all the years or all the days before this particular date, his stay in India is going to be nil. Is that absolutely clear? Okay. So before this particular year, that means before this 11-12 year, matlab 10-11 and before, his number of days stay is going to be nil. Okay. So first of all, we have to put this into our structure, our understanding of these particular provisions very well. Okay. See, during the previous year, his stay is 80 number of days. Okay, and before years is 124, 191, 15, 115, 120. Okay, this is data available. And before that, it is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay. This is how your number of days stay. So if at all you want the total for 4 years, 7 years and all that, you can take it. Absolutely clear? Okay. Now, come to our main point. His number of days stay in the previous year is 80 number of days stay. 4 years total you take. It's coming to 445 number of days. Just check the total again here. These 4 years, preceding 4 years total. Just check. 124 plus 191 plus 15 plus 115. Okay. 445 number of days. Okay. Now 61A condition has failed. 61C, because it is 60 days test only, so that is pass, and this 365 days, this is and, don't forget this, and so entire condition 61C has already passed, and therefore assessee is resident since 61C condition is satisfied. Okay, so that is the first part of the answer. Now moment you say that you are already resident, okay, then you have to go with the test of resident but not ordinarily resident. Simply you want 7 years total first of all. So just add up that 7 year total in our working, which I have already done it. I think total is 565 days, which is less than or equal to 729 days, and therefore straight away you can say that assessee is resident but not ordinarily resident. Is that okay? Now at least 9 out of 10 preceding previous year. Now I already told you that actually it is not required at the given stage because the answer is over. So in examination condition, you did not even spend extra time now at this particular stage. However, for classwork purpose, you can effectively calculate that 9 out of 10 years at least, that is exactly how many number of years that you are non-resident. That you can do it from our table here itself. Okay, see, wherever it is less than 60, you can straight away say non-resident. So all these years is non-resident. Okay, if it is greater than or equal to 182 days, you can straight away say resident. So this particular year you are already resident by virtue of 61A. And for the other years, now you can take the total of that preceding 4 years and check for the respective year, because respective year and preceding 4 years total you can check. Okay, so here the total is going to be, I think, 365 or something like that. 191 plus 291, 390. It is crossing the limit. So this is resident by 61A. Okay, 115 previous year total is not because I can easily see 120 plus 0000. So you are again non-resident. Okay, and 120 days earlier years is all zero. That means 4 years condition is not satisfied. Okay, non-resident. So effectively 8 years you are non-resident. So just to fill up that particular data, actually not required, but for classwork purpose we do that. So actually you are 8 years non-resident. As such, this condition is not satisfied, but this is satisfied. This is how you can just understand. Okay, because this is or for section 6(6)(a), it is final answer resident, but not ordinarily resident. That's all. Now friends, come to this particular question, and again a good question. Let me read. Mr. Jain, a citizen of India, age 61, was working as a crew member on an Indian ship plying in foreign waters. During the year, the ship did not touch the Indian coast except for 180 days. His Indian income is 4 lakhs. You are required to 1. State the residential status and compute his tax liability. 2. State the residential status and compute his tax liability assuming his Indian income is 24 lakhs and his stay in India in 4 years preceding the previous year is 400 days. 3. State the residential status and compute his tax liability assuming his Indian income is 24 lakhs and his stay in India in 4 preceding previous year is 300 days. State point number 4. State the residential status and compute the tax liability assuming that the Indian income is 24 lakhs and his stay in India in 4 years preceding the previous year is not known in the question. Okay. Now, a good question. First of all, you have to identify the provisions very properly, that which all conditions will be applicable. Okay. He is already a citizen of India and he is going as a crew member in a foreign going ship. Okay. The moment he is a crew member, he is a citizen of India. Okay. In that particular case, see, a citizen goes abroad for the employment or as a crew member. This particular explanation will be applicable, and instead of 60 days, 182 days will be substituted. In the first situation, the Indian income is given to us as only 4 lakhs and therefore this condition will not be applicable. The 120 days test etc. will not be applicable in the first situation. That is number 1. Okay. Even this 6(1)(a) relevant data has not been given to us, so that is also not very much relevant. Now, his visit to India is same as 182 days, but that is also not very much relevant. So ultimately it is 60 days substituted with 182 days. And moment it happens like that, logically what happens is that 6(1)(c) conditions become logically not functional. Logically becomes not functional, but we will in the classroom apply and test it also. So not functional means that because 6(1)(c) and 6(1)(a) now has overlapping condition. So if 6(1)(a) is satisfied, only then 6(1)(c) can satisfy. So if 6(1)(a) fails, 6(1)(c) automatically fails because there is overlapping condition. That's the reason logically it is said that it is not functional. Okay. So we have already identified the provisions first of all. Okay. And now let us see his number of days stay in India. The ship did not touch the Indian coast except 180 days. Okay. That means 180 days he was inside India. It did not touch. That means he was outside India. Okay. Was outside India except 180 days. That means 180 days he is inside India. So his stay inside India is 180 number of days. Okay. So his actual number of days stay is 180 number of days. Okay. Earlier 4 years data is not available in the question, in the first part of the question. And in the first part of the question, Indian income is only 4 lakhs, and that's the reason this 15 lakhs 120 days condition is also not applicable. Okay. Now in the given situation, see, 6(1)(a) is not satisfied. 6(1)(c) is also not satisfied because overlapping condition. No. Okay. Now this 4 years back data is not available, but it hardly matters because if one part of the condition of 6(1)(c) is not satisfied, because 6(1)(c) has one condition of 60 days, of course substituted with 180 days in the given case, and 4 years preceding the previous year's 365 days test. So it's a cumulative test, and that's the reason if one is not satisfied, the entire list is not satisfied. And that's the reason logically some people also say that in such a situation 61C is not functional. That means don't test only 61C, because answer of 61A and 61C is going to be the same in the given circumstances, and that is the logical conclusion. However, actually law doesn't say that, but if you want to test, you can test it and get the mind clear. So in the classroom I always test it and I tell the students that see it is not functional, because anyway answer is going to be 61A, 61C, answer is going to be the same, and therefore assess in the given case, is a non-resident. Okay, now the moment assess is a non-resident, there is no need to test further. Okay, so that is one of the logical conclusion. However, that is debatable, but that I will not touch here. Okay, so the first part of the answer is over. The assess is a non-resident, finish, and you can update the answer accordingly. His Indian income is 4 lakhs. So first part of the answer is over. Now let us go to the second part of the discussion. Okay, the second part of the discussion, state the residential will compute the tax liability. Assume his Indian income is 24 lakhs. Now moment Indian income is 24 lakhs, he is a citizen of India, that 15 lakh condition will come into picture. Okay, and his stay in 4 years preceding the previous year is 400 days. So now it is clearly given to us. Now in this situation there will be one clear confusion that will come into picture, and that I will oftenly solve it, and I will tell you that what is a very, very popular view. Okay, so assessee is a citizen of India. Okay, so assess is a citizen of India. He is also going abroad as a crew member. So you can substitute this 60 days with 182 days also. And now the Indian income is also crossing the limit of 15 lakhs. So even this condition can be applicable. So you can also substitute with 120 days for the working purpose. Which one will you substitute? Oh my God. Which one will you substitute? Have you understood that? In other words, now this one is very much a likely confusion in a typical situation where more than one condition could come into picture, and there are different number of days to be substituted for 60 number of days, and which one will you prefer and why? And let me tell you that whenever such confusion comes, there is a fundamental rule of interpretation, and that fundamental rule of interpretation says that the most specific provision is to be applied. Now in the given case, still you will have a doubt because he is a crew member and he is going abroad. However, in the same case, the Indian income is also more. Okay, so I will say like that where the Indian income is more than the limit of 15 lakhs is given to us by the law, then apply 120 days. But then you will ignore this 182 days. Okay, but you will have to write a note, and you also have to say that this is debatable, that there is a confusion, that both the explanation is applicable in that situation, which one to be applied can be debated and all that. But I will go with the view that since the income is more, I will substitute with 120 number of days. You understood that? That is your first point. Okay, so I will say like that. Okay, so I will go with this particular view, substitute with 120 number of days. Okay, so this condition is applicable. Okay, now let us check the number of days stay in India is 180 number of days, and 4 years preceding the previous year is 400 number of days. That is already given to us in the question. Let me check 1 second. Yeah, it is 400. Indian income is 24 lakhs. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so 61A is already failed. 61C now, because it is more than 120 number of days, so that will come into picture. And 365 days test, this is and, so this is also satisfied. So fully it is satisfied. Okay, so assessee is resident by virtue of 61C provision. That's the concluded answer. Okay, now see the resident but not ordinary resident condition. Okay. Now, preceding 7 years stay in India and all that data is not given, so let us ignore that particular point. However, this 6C, where Indian income is more, okay, and previous year a number of days stay more than or equal to 120 and less than 182. So your previous year number of days stay is 180. Okay, and since this condition is satisfied, 66C, assessee will become not ordinarily resident but not ordinarily resident. By virtue of, you can say 6C conditions. By virtue of this condition, you will become not ordinarily resident. Okay, and now update your answer. Point number 2 also, that you will be not ordinarily resident, and 24 lakhs is your Indian income, so it will of course be taxable in India, and calculate the tax liability. Now let us go to the third situation. See, in the third situation is again his Indian income is 24 lakhs. He is citizen of India. Okay, so since it is 24 lakhs, naturally that 15 lakhs condition will be applicable, but 4 years preceding the previous number of days stay is only 300. So this is a very good point, and this can always confuse. Okay. Okay, his previous year number of days stay is 180. This 120 days will be substituted because Indian income is more. Previous year stay is 180. Last 4 years, preceding 4 years, condition is 300. That is already given to us in the question. Okay, so naturally 61A is not satisfied, because 120 days is substituted, first part is satisfied, and 365 days test is not satisfied, so overall it is not satisfied. So assessee is a non-resident. Okay, so since the assessee is a non-resident, because above condition is not satisfied, that's the concluded answer. Wherever there is assessee who is a non-resident, we do not test further. Okay, so there is no further test which is to be applied once it is a non-resident. However, this particular view is debatable. I already told you that particular point, because of this Indian income which is more than 15 lakhs in the given situation, number of days stay in the previous year more than equal to 120 and less than 182, actually it is 180 number of days. You could become not ordinarily resident, you could become, but a non-resident we will not apply the further test. That is the view. Okay, so that is of course debatable, but I already told you that particular debate also in the past, that in the given circumstances where the assessee is a non-resident, no need to make any further test. Okay, so go with that particular view. However, that particular alternate view could be mentioned in the given circumstances, and accordingly it can be stated. So update your answer, point number 3 fully. So assessee will be again a non-resident here, and Indian income will of course be taxable in India, and accordingly you can calculate the tax liability. Now let us go to the fourth condition. In the fourth condition, Indian income is 24 lakhs and past 4 years is not known in the question. Now this is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Okay, so let's go. Let me erase this. This is fourth part of the answer. So this is 180 days, 60 days substituted with 120. Okay, last 4 years data is not available. Mamma mia. Now see, moment you say that last 4 years data is not available, now this is going to be a very tricky situation. In fact, I can stop my answer at this particular stage saying that this is an incomplete question and I cannot answer. This is an incomplete question. I cannot answer. Reason being that 61A has failed, I already know. Okay, 61A has already failed, I already know. Now 61C, one condition is satisfied, so I definitely require the data for the second condition. Because unless I have the data, I cannot conclude the answer. It is impossible. Because 61C in the given situation is a functional condition. It is applicable, and it is, perfectly applicable. It is relevant also. So practically, I can say that this question is a handicap question. Is that absolutely clear? I can definitely say that. However, in examination condition, I don't want to do that, act like an over smart person saying that, oh, this question is not correct and I want to challenge the question. I don't want to do that. In examination condition, I want marks. So I want to satisfy the person ultimately who is going to check my answer sheet. So I will say that, see, I don't know this particular test, so I don't know the answer here. Okay. However, if I look at this not ordinarily resident condition independently, because income is more and stay is more than equal to 120 days and it is less than 182 days, your stay in India during the previous year 180 number of days. So this test is anyway satisfied. So if I apply independently section 6.6 condition, I repeat independently, I can at least conclude that assess is a not ordinarily resident. Mamma mia. So put it differently, one thing is sure that in the given question, assess is either non-resident or not ordinarily resident. Either of these two status is there. That is for sure. But the question is incomplete. Like that you can say, you can write a note and only based on question data if you want to give the answer. I repeat, if you want to give the answer only based on question data, then you can say that it is not ordinarily resident. But this is fixed as per the question data. So you can say that this is a not ordinarily resident situation. Okay. Assessee is a not ordinarily resident, but this is purely very much debatable in the question. This is very, very much debatable in the question. Very, very debatable. Okay. So only looking at the question data, I repeat, only looking at the question data, I can go with the view, say that this is not ordinarily resident. Have you understood that? Okay. And accordingly, I can give my answer. However, now here we have Indian income 24 lakhs. So you can already straight away proceed to do that particular computation of 24 lakhs and get the amount of the tax liability.